right, kitty cats. Welcome again to the potential conclusion of our first story arc. I say potential because I don't know what sort of insanity the players have planned or not, as it happens. But nevertheless, here we are. So we've done a couple of changes on the background. Hope that it pans out well. If not, it's part of the learning curve. So we hope you enjoy it. As per usual, we have our normal casting, which is Naomi, Sharon, Katie, Jared, and myself. And as per any other session of Star Wars in the system, we start with something quite simple and quite meaningful, which is generating your dark side, light side pool. And if all of you can roll light side, dark side points.
Oh, bad start.
Oh,
Dark for me.
1.
Yes. We have ammunition.
You guys are despicable.
Yes, we are.
4 stupid light side points, 1 miserable dark side point.
Oh, don't worry. It'll have company soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so, because I'm feeling murderous after the day of today.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
So you guys have 1 day or thereabouts before the party. So I'm going to allow every one of you to tell me 2 actions. We're not going to go too deep in this unless you guys really need to delve into it, because we are going to the conclusion of this story arc. So if you guys want to facilitate a neuro agent or go and acquire a death beetle or something like that, go for it. You know, it's meaningful, relevant, has bigger impact. If you want to have a training montage, not so great. You know, still gets done. We just narrated what happens, and you tell me what you pursue in there, and we'll figure out if it's doable or not doable in a span of 6 to 8 hours. Okay, so I am going to go from left to right, I guess. So Naomi, first action, go.
Oh, bollocks. Amaya wakes up 2 o'clock that morning because, you know, major life events, things are churning in the back of her mind, insomnia kicks in, gets up, and I think it's a great time to go find a quiet space somewhere and bring the lightsaber and maybe do some training.
Do you have lightsaber?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, so we've spoken about this. Lightsaber is not one of those things that you can teach yourself.
Okay, I've got the wooden practice sword, which is what she has been using
So
traditionally.
you know sword magic, which is melee.
Yes,
Cool.
she does.
So you're going to practice melee.
Yes,
Okay,
to see how this whole new body thing works for her.
it works fine.
That was amazingly uneventful. That's good to know. So yeah, she'll go and practice her stances and do that for about 3-4 hours.
Okay, who is next? Jared or Dr. Mary?
Yeah.
What sort of ghastly misdeeds are you doing this morning?
I think what Dr. Mary wants to do is, I'm trying to think how to put it, basically to kind of try and learn the mannerisms and duplicate a member of the ambassador's security detail so that she can impersonate them.
Okay, there is one guy that looks particularly dense, but it's very easy to read.
Yep.
It's sort of a darker skinned fella. You know, he has a very calm expression about himself. And you have seen Ronsai hanging around him. So we don't have socialize or social per se in this game. So let me see how would you read it? What would you use for that?
Well, I think what I'm trying to do is like build a kind of cover identity. So it's not so much communicating with him directly as
No.
working out.
I'm just trying to see how would you impress upon yourself. Would that be, because it would be either I don't think it's education per se.
I think it's probably deception. It's kind of like building up a kind of false identity that you can kind of...
I was actually thinking xenology.
Xenology. Okay, all right. I can roll for that to kind of... What
But-
is he? What species is the guard?
It's a human.
A human. Yeah. Okay. I'll give that a go. Yep.
I'll tell you what. Roll me a xenology.
Yep.
And if you get a good roll, I'll throw you blue dice for your deception roll.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay. What difficulty do you want me to roll against?
I would say 3 purples.
Yep. Okay. I might flip 1. Give you a dice at that point.
Oh my precious come.
And I think, I don't know, maybe this to kind of help the roll, maybe to get a blue, I might sort of subtly try and ask Runsai about this person a little bit and what she knows about him, and get a sense of this co-worker.
So, Runsai, tell me about the guy that you are mind wiping every so often.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a particularly strong mind.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
There's not much running through that head, let's just
His
say.
brain is like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, he's just eager to please.
He's cute but stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great. So I don't know, does that sound good enough for like what, 1 blue, 2 blue?
Sure, get 1 blue for that.
1 blue. Alright, cool. Alright. Let's go for it and see how we go. Very
Okay.
good.
That's a triumph.
3 successes, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. Yeah.
So
Very nice.
definitely you get. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the difficulty by 1. So you're only rolling 2 purples for the deception, and you get 2 blues.
Cool. All right. I wonder if also for the triumph, like whether I could get, I don't know, like because he's a bit sort of empty-headed, maybe like leaves a sort of security badge somewhere or something. Like,
I'll do you 1 better.
Yep.
You actually, because the guy is a bit of an idiot. You notice that as he communicates or as he talks in his communicator, he keeps on dropping a word, sparrow. And after looking at it in hindsight and paying more attention to his pattern and things, you realize that sparrow is his personal denomination code.
Great. Okay. So yep, add that to my kind of ID.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Now, do you want me to wait to roll the deception when the time comes?
Yes, and remember you have 2 blues and your difficulty is only 2 purples.
Great.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Vasi and Eso, what are you doing for your first action?
I am going to visit our dear Mr. Craig for a little bit of intel on the people who he knows might be at the dinner.
Okay. Right. He says, well, it's not a dinner per se. It's actually a grand banquet. It's not a private affair. It's something that is going to be extremely public. There is nobility, there is political leaders, there is civil figures. I mean, I think there is even Hollywood starlets that have been invited just to make this more grandiose and more interesting for everybody. So take your pick. What are you looking for?
I am looking for someone in the entourage of the regent's entourage who might be a newer member of the entourage. So
No such thing.
no such thing. So no more recent security.
Nope.
No, they're all been old hands.
People that have been with her for years.
Okay.
Short of disappearing somebody and going through the vetting process, unlikely.
So they're all likely to be ridiculously loyal and not going to fall for certain level of charm. Okay.
No.
Well, that is also good to know. And I would like to use my black market contacts to get a sleeping draft.
So Alaric asks, okay, how do you want it? Do you want this to be a dart, a gas,
A liquid, please.
a liquid? Okay.
Or something that could be snuck into somebody's drink.
He says, I have to research. When do you need this?
For the banquet, if at all possible.
He laughs and said, look, I'll see what I can get you. It's such short notice. It's not that these things are just waiting to be picked.
Girls gotta try.
He raises an eyebrow, unimpressed, and he says, if you were going to take the contract, you should have made plans days ago. Your competition is way ahead of you.
Who said anything about the contract, darling?
All right, I'll get you your drug, but it's going to cost you. I'll send it to the embassy.
Thank you.
All right, Katie,
Yep.
what's your first action?
Well, Runtime is getting the feeling that something's going down.
Something's going down.
Yeah. She has uncanny senses and
Okay, that's not what uncanny senses do, but okay.
well, what do uncanny senses do?
It actually gives you bonus to when you're trying to perceive something.
Alright, okay. Well, anyway, she's getting the feeling that there's something suspicious. Something's gonna happen at the gala, so she wants to be prepared. So she's doing a little bit of sleuthing, listening to some chatter, listening behind corners.
Where?
Seeing
In
what-
the embassy?
In the embassy, yeah.
Alright. This actually requires rolls.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that you're trying to do this without being...
Oh yeah. She doesn't want to be seen.
Make a stealth roll. Difficulty 3 purples. That doesn't look... So, no.
Listening at the wrong corner.
As a matter of fact, you fail. So the people that you're trying to snoop in, they're like, Ronsa, is there anything that we can help you?
Damn
You keep on following us. So is there something that you need to tell us, or?
No. I was just finding all I can about the gala.
Right. You know what you need to know, so this is nothing for you to worry about. So you should go back to your quarters and get ready.
Are you sure that everything's
Yes.
fine? Okay. She slinks away. Is our clothing being arranged? Like
Yes.
Yes. Right. She's also gonna check that out. Make sure there's some pockets.
It's dresses or gowns for a gala, so it's not. It's something that is designed for show, not for purpose. So if
so
you're
no-
planning to sneak a blaster underneath, unless you have a blaster with a high rating of concealment, it ain't going to happen. Okay, you got your action.
Yep.
Take it for your second one.
Mhm.
Amaya, afternoon action, go.
I know there's a rat somewhere in the wider group.
There is like 60 people.
Exactly. That's a lot of rats to go through. I'm going to call up personnel files and just read personnel files. I've worked with them for a little while. I know most of them. I want to see if there's something that might indicate to me who, if any of them, may benefit by betraying us.
Based on what?
Are they in debt?
How would you know that? This is a personal file.
Yes.
How are you going to know if they're in debt?
Are they gamblers? Little hints and things like that, which may...
Okay,
Hey, I am grasping at straws here.
definitely. And,
I know.
So, trying to think what could work for this. Sure. Skullduggery for purples, 1 black.
Okay, skullduggery. Oh, check failed.
Yeah.
2 failures and 1 threat.
Okay.
Moving on.
No. Consequences.
Uh-oh.
2 failures, 1 threat.
Yep.
as you are combing through the files, you didn't realize that there was a protocol that was keeping track of the files that you were opening and what you were consulting. And you receive a message. At some point, your terminal gets locked, and you receive a message from the secretary of the ambassador. The message reads, "Is there a particular reason why you are investigating every single personal file? Is there something that are you aware and you're not conveying to the chain of command?"
She'll respond, yes, I have information that is unsubstantiated at the moment. I'm trying to follow it up before I come up to command with it. I'm happy to discuss this further.
She doesn't reply, and your terminal remains locked.
Has a habit of doing that to me.
No, I think you do it to yourself.
I'm talented like that.
Very well. The protocol droid comes.
Miss Amaya, it's time for preparations for the banquet tonight. Do you require an assistant for you disrobing and re-robing with your designated clothing?
I haven't even seen my designated clothing, so
It's already in your quarters.
okay. I think I can manage on my own, but thank you.
Very well.
Keeps on going. Dr. Mary, second action.
Yeah, so I'm gonna invite this kind of Sparrow designated member of the security staff to come and visit me in my room.
The
And,
guy's like a human-sized puppy.
yeah.
Like, yes, doctor. What can I do for you?
So once I get him in my room, what I'm gonna do is try and knock him out and take over his identity, basically. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. We'll see if that works.
Okay.
I think it should be a brawl check, and then I'm going to use my pressure point and possibly anatomy lessons to
Yeah, I'm
strain instead.
just trying to see. All right. Yep. Go for it. So yeah, brawl check. It's close combat quarters, so it's
2 purple by default, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple, you get 1 blue because he's not expecting to be
Not
jumped.
expecting it. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, here goes. Just gets there. So 1 success, 2 advantages. Let me have a look. So that will be 6 damage plus my ranks in medicine, so 9, and then I'm gonna flip a point as well to add my intellect ranks as well, so that's 13 strain, ignoring soak. As I sort of whack him on the back of the neck and lay him down in my bed. Hopefully that gets him out. Yeah.
Completely out.
Yeah, having a nice little nap.
He just drops like a sack of potatoes.
Very nice. Okay. And so then I'm going to sort of like basically get into his uniform, set him up in my bed with it sort of a bit covered, and transmit a message that Dr. Heath is indisposed with a nasty stomach bug, and just to leave me to it.
Yep.
I now need to attempt this is a changeling. This is like a special called out action, so to basically transform into him. So it's a resilience check. Average, so 2 purple check. And I'm guessing I can probably take those 2 blue from studying him before to that as well. So see if that works. Otherwise might look like somebody else. Hopefully not.
Oh.
Alright, so 1 success, 3 advantages, 1 triumph.
Yep. Flawless. If you had any strain, recover point of strain.
Yep.
No. Man, you look exactly like him. You even have the same sheepishly placid expression in your face. Everything is anatomically correct. Yeah, good to go.
Does he have a name other than Sparrow?
He is the Corporal Jarud Kitar.
Gerard Tikar. Okay. Cool. So then I proceed to my post as Corporal Tikar.
And as you are finishing your preparations and you're checking yourself in the mirror, like, yep. And like, Corporal Kita, acknowledge.
Reporting in.
Everything okay? You've been offline for the past half an hour.
Yeah, I was just helping out Dr. Heath. She's a bit sick in her room.
Yes. Have
She's
you?
not gonna be able to make it, but I'm coming back online now.
Yes. Look up, because there is a special strains of bugs. Can you please lock her from the outside? I believe that
Will do.
You should have a master key. So.
Roger.
And then report to the barracks for assignments for this ceremony later.
Roger that. On my way.
Oh, yeah. Action number 2.
Yeah, so checking that this grand gala banquet is at the Hyquntra equivalent of the White House.
Sort of, yes.
Okay. So she'd like to just duck back to her ship and make a call to her patron.
Okay.
Wants to ask who they want blackmail material on.
They say that at this stage they don't care. They're just waiting to see who comes out on top.
Basically, anything she can scrounge up and find. Type of deal.
But also, before you disconnect, they say that they're expecting those samples to come out safely, regardless of what happens in the system.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't come to happen, they will be very disappointed.
Understood.
Yeah. Your ship is almost ready to fly. They're just bolting the last panels.
Yeah, and she'll make sure no one's around. Do a quick scan of her quarters for any additions they have made.
Make a roll.
What am I rolling for this?
Great question. I got no idea. Probably roll an underworld, because if they were going to plant a beacon or a tracker or something like that, or skullduggery.
I'll roll skullduggery.
Yep.
Doesn't want to let me roll, you horrible, horrible thing. Come on. There we go. Ooh. No bad. 1 fail, 1 advantage.
Okay. No, everything appears in its rightful place. Nothing.
I can remove a point of strength.
Yes, and you can recover 1 strain. Ransai, second action.
Okay. Might have a chat, see if she can go and find her friend, Sparrow. And see if he has any information on the banquet. Would it be possible for someone to tell if someone was pretending to be somebody else?
Yes. You mean if somebody is impersonating somebody? Yes.
Yeah.
There are ways to.
So if I did a little bit of rifling through his head, I'd be able to, I'd know.
I think conventionally it's meant to be against my deception, but
Yes,
I don't know whether you have magical powers to rifle in my head, maybe.
Yeah, magical powers.
The first thing is you have to actively use the force.
Yeah.
Right? And so far you have been quite liberal with this.
Yeah. Have I used up too much?
No. But it's so far you have been using it against NPCs. Now you will be using it against a character. So it's a contested role.
Different. Yeah. Okay.
So your friend Yarud, or the god, seems to be tied up in a staff meeting.
All right. Can I have a rest? And I've got some strain. Can I regain some strain?
Sure.
Do I
Okay.
need to roll for that? Alright,
No. How much strain you got left? You got down
I'm at 10,
out of how many?
13.
Yeah, it's fine. Every day, every time that you rest, you recover strain too. It's part of
Alright.
the natural rest recovery.
Okay.
Okay, so all of the gods are are called in, and the security officer from the ambassador starts saying, we have reasons to believe that some of the local population has no desire to see a fruitful relation between the new republic and the Hyquntra system. So all of you need to be very vigilant. We don't expect this to escalate more than words or perhaps some embarrassing scene, or what could be the beginning of an embarrassing scene. However, if you perceive something that may escalate further than this, take care of it as discreetly as possible. We do not want to embarrass anybody in Hyquntra, and we don't want to shame our ambassador. So it's of paramount importance, discretion. Any questions on this?
So, so how closely should we follow the ambassador?
Give her plenty of room as long as she's always within close reach of somebody. You're just going to be passing in the package.
Understood.
One thing that is going to work in our favor is that this is a masquerade ball. So we have been provided very diverse array of costumes and livery, so we can circulate with ease of access through the building. So please pick up your uniform on the way out, and we will be departing in 1 hour.
So do we have any intel on any possible threats? Surely the masquerade ball will work against us as well.
Nothing solid. However, it has been brought to our attention that the one called Amaya Sorensen was researching for potential vectors of approach to everybody in the embassy. So keep an eye on her. We are not certain of where her loyalties may lie.
Understood.
And so everybody gets frocked up. Some people with assistance, some people without assistance. Vasia, one of the protocol droids come into your quarters and said,
Oh, Miss Vasia, this has been delivered for you.
You.
and it's a tiny bottle with a bit of a yellow liquid.
Little bit of beauty treatment.
Yes, you rub it on your eye, you start feeling kind of the muscle go a bit lax, like maybe that's not that.
It's not perfume.
Yes. So, and as you're removing that, you realize that there seems to be a false bottom in the box.
I'll wait until the droid leaves and
Yep.
have a little bit of a look.
When you remove it, you see a cryo container
Yeah.
and has a handwritten note. This needs to be moved as fast as possible. It should be okay as long as you don't open it or doesn't get compromised.
So how far from the location of the gala is her ship?
Okay, so let's go back. So this is like the eagle eyes view of the city. So your ship is in one of the spaceports here in the upper city. You guys are in one of the upper spaceports. The gala is happening here in the city. So it's not far off. It's like 15 minutes in a turbo lift,
yeah,
or an air train.
She might make a little detour to
Yep.
place that in the hidden compartment in her ship.
Yep, that's fine. Okay. So everybody's ready. Sundial, you get designated to one of the transports. You see a Maya being loaded in a transport. Vasia, are you going with the transports of everybody, or?
so that I just want to grab something from my ship,
Yep,
a replacement jacket, and meet them there.
sure.
I'll totally believe me about the jacket.
Yeah,
Been obsessing over the jacket.
the driver is like, whatever. It's all the same to me. Yeah, drops you in the ship, but he doesn't wait for you.
That's fine.
He keeps on driving. Ronsai and everybody is going on the way, and you see that the citadel is illuminated with different colors, and it's well, the nighttime shield has started to extend, and the luminous auras of the crystal buildings just project and radiate into the artificial sky. And it makes this sort of aurora borealis like color play in the space, which is quite pretty. And you can see that, yeah, they're really putting on a show. Even some of the air traffic slows down just to admire the light play and the patterns. And you also need notice that there is a substantially larger number of security badges and patrols just around the perimeter of the buildings and the airspace. Seems that they want to avoid another surprise like the one from a couple of weeks ago. So you arrive to the gala. You see some familiar faces. You see Dr. Preeti is there with her partner. You see the Queen is there. She's also in costume. She's wearing an all red costume, quite elaborate, and it's a bit how she looks is she looks still young, but there is this force, this inner force of somebody that is fully convinced on what she's doing. And she receives the ambassador and looks in your direction and nods towards you. And then her eyes stop for a second in Amaya, and she approaches.
I'll remember my protocol training and react accordingly. Probably
Yeah.
dropping into a bow.
Protocol training. Look, get very stiff and then bow.
Exactly. Queen Regent.
Please, no need for that. We are amongst friends tonight. How's your recovery going?
It's been going very well. Dr. Pretty has been most helpful. And again, I thank you for what you've done for me.
It's the least that we could do. After all, you got injured under our care, so we would be terrible hosts if at least we wouldn't take some responsibility. It pains me to say that we still haven't caught the assailants, and it seems that it's far more resourceful than your average droid, which is rather concerning.
I have every faith that that droid will be located.
Yes, let's hope that's the case. But anyway, I'm glad to see you in better shape than last time.
Thank you.
And she keeps on moving. So make a perception roll as she moves out with her entourage.
Sure. And what am I rolling
3
against?
purples.
Oh, finally, I have a success.
Mm.
5 successes, 3 threats.
Success and threat. As she is moving away with her entourage, you see that there is a person in her entourage that you have seen before. You've seen it in the Imperial files, and you saw it at a shopping complex, and it was lurking in a dark corner. Gadriel Kane.
Oh, that's Chelly Afra.
Yes.
I'm gonna make eye contact with her.
She gives you a sweet smile and winks and keeps on walking.
That's okay. She's not the droid I'm looking for.
Now, you got 3 threat.
Oh, this isn't going to end well. Is that good for me or
Well,
good for you?
so codename Sparrow. You hear in your intercom the captain of your squad said, Sparrow, you're the closest in position. Tell me what Amaya is looking at. She seemed to be very interested in someone in the regent's entourage. Do you have a visual?
Yeah, I've got a visual on her. How should I proceed?
See if you can pinpoint who is she looking at. She seems to be unusually fixated in somebody in the Queen's Regent entourage.
Yep. Okay. Understood. So I go and keep an eye on her who she's watching after.
Yep. Okay.
Do I spot that she's looking at Dr. Afro? Is that right? Or
Well, I don't know. Make a perception roll.
all right.
I don't think it's a very obvious look. It's just a
It's
acknowledgement.
not. It's just somebody was already looking at you.
Yeah. I mean, I could also just go over and ask her, I suppose, is the other thing I could do.
Yeah.
Look, maybe I'll approach it that way. I might go up and just sort of sidle up to Amaya and just sort of pull her to the side and say, Amaya, don't freak out. It's Mary here. How you going?
What?
And just briefly change back into my voice.
She literally just grabs you and turns her back to the crowd. Yo,
I'm
how?
in disguise. Like I said,
Obviously.
don't react. But I'm with the security detail, and they've noticed you noticing somebody in the Queen's entourage. Is there any one thing we should be worried about?
That was Dr. Afram with the Queen's entourage.
Right.
But she's not the one I'm looking at. Well, I don't think she's our problem. This problem, anyway. She's not our rat.
In character, just remind me how much. We don't know much about Dr. Afro at all in character, do we? So we probably wouldn't be suspicious necessarily.
You do know that she was the last Imperial officer to land here when the Imperials still have a foothold.
So I mean, I guess I'd probably raise that with the mind then, like she was an Imperial officer here. Here she is again. I think we should be pretty concerned. Out of character, I'm very concerned. I know what she's like, but
Oh God, we're going to die.
just look out for the two killer droids, then we're really in trouble. 000. Yeah.
Maya looks at Mary, aka Sparrow. That's a whole other discussion. But she looks at him and goes, she's working with the guy who told me there was a rat here amongst our team.
How much can you trust this fellow? Other than his looks, he doesn't seem to have much else to recommend him.
I can't trust what he says. I can't verify anything he's told me. But nor can I condemn him. They've done nothing to make me suspicious of them.
For all what you know, he could be feeding you bad intel.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what she's saying. I can't vouch for him. I can't condemn him. I don't know.
Is he here? Have you seen him here tonight?
No, not yet. I no doubt he's lurking somewhere. He'll be here
Okay.
somewhere. If she's here, he'll be here.
Well, keep an eye on Dr. Afro. I'll keep keeping an eye on you, and I better keep making my rounds.
We'll talk further, Mary. Nice to see you feeling better.
Indeed.
Yes, and I'll just slide back into the crowds.
Yeah, I'll keep patrolling.
Very well. Ronsai, you see how Amaya seems to be making moves on your little pet.
Yes. I'm gonna go over to Amaya and ask. So, talking with your Rud, were you?
Oh, you're looking smashing today.
Same for you. Do you like my hair?
Absolutely. On point. Shall we?
You
Okay.
don't look like a robot much. Well done.
Hey, I did not say that.
Too soon. Too soon.
Shall we?
Go for a walk?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Let's admire the scenery, and you can tell me about your Rud.
Why? He's just came up and had a chat to me.
All
Are you jealous, Runzo?
No. Baby.
Really? Baby. Ah.
No, he's like a puppy. He's acting a little bit out of character.
Is he?
Yes.
Thought he was perfectly sweet to me.
Not that clever.
He was just making sure I was okay. That's all.
Okay. All right. Are you okay?
Yes. Yes,
Have
I'm
you
just.
have you noticed? Is there anything suspicious here? Have you felt anything different?
No, not yet. I'm just walking through the crowd, trying to keep my ears and eyes open, and hopefully tonight's uneventful.
Yes. Well, we'll see. I have a bad feeling about it.
She got it out there.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's do some mingling. Do we is it like a stand-up kind of deal, or is there a table set out?
This party is like a cocktail party, so everybody's standing. There's alcohol and libations just going everywhere. So you see all the creme de la creme of the Hyquntra society. Everybody who is someone seems to be here tonight. You see members of the Senate and the local councils, you see industrialists, you see politicians of different branches, members of different races. From your brief packages, you have come to understand that the system used to have very, very marked seat ideas, like about race purity and every race should keep to themselves. So there were actually control boards for each one of the races that were present, which eventually became more like social associations and eventually evolved into a political faction into itself. So each one of the races has like nominated representatives, and they're part of the political structure, which is good and bad. Because good because theoretically each one of the races that has a significant population has a representation, but it's bad because also depending on the level of how do I put this, social costume that may be hereditary or maybe won by trial of combat or plain and simple corruption, or there is vices into the system itself. However, it upholds the idea of a representative nature of the society, which is good in theory, but in practice it gets a bit more nuanced.
All right. Oh, I remember what I needed to ask. Are there droids?
Yes, there are protocol and service droids everywhere.
Don't worry. I was going to ask a stupid question.
Fair enough.
I could get a stupid answer. Yeah. But are they droids like our friend? Are they humanoid type droids, or are they?
Yes, protocol droids.
Yeah, protocol droids. Yeah.
Well, if you're asking me about your assailant, you never really saw him well.
Uh-huh. Right. So we don't know what he looked like.
You don't know exactly how he looks like. You know that he could be a protocol like android, but
yeah. But did we know he was a droid?
Well, if it wasn't a droid, it was a synthetic with low light vision.
Right. Okay.
Or a cyborg.
Yes. Well, there's that.
Although Maya may have gotten a first-hand look at it just before she was
Obliterated.
Thrown off the building.
and thrown off the building subsequently. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Vasia, you get there, and as you are exiting the hangar, you see the Devaronian couple that was at the entrance of the bar. And they nod at you and said, we'll make sure that everything stays in its place.
Thank you, darlings.
Also, watch your back in this dinner party. We know that there is at least 3 people betting for the same contract.
Understood.
So keep your nose clean.
when she was in the ship, she would have retrieved enough bling to make it look like she was actually going for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, something to finish the outfit instead of just
Yeah.
sneak into the ship for some reason.
Yes.
She's now got, jeweled things around her neck.
Yeah, you look better suited for a party. So as you get to the party, you arrive to this grand hall where they're serving drinks, and there is a bunch of people, and everybody's very well dressed. And then you see that the protocol droids start offering masks to everybody, and the lights dim a little bit, and you see that a master of ceremony says, "Friends, welcome to the celebration of a new friendship between our nations. The Hyquntra system proudly offers its hand and receives in reciprocity the envoys of the new republic. May our relations last for a long time, and they're as fruitful and blessed as the ones that we have had with their predecessors. And so, in the Hyquntra fashion of celebration, please, let's welcome our carnival." And you see that the grand door on the back of the room just opened, and you see how the room inside, which is a very large room, and you can tell it's a grand ceremony room, has been fully decorated, and there's creatures and what it appears to be animals of some sort that just are either levitating or floating in the air, dancing gracefully in the air. There is acrobats, and there is harlequins, and performers of different types, and everybody is brightly dressed and in costume. And then let's the carnival begin. Festive music comes by, and the performers start mingling with everybody and just taking them inside the room. And Sundal, you hear over your earpiece, "I don't like this one bit. This situation is no longer controlled. Please make sure that everybody has an eye on the ambassador at all times.
So should we circle around her more closely?
Just stay close by, preferably within arm's reach."
Okay. Yep, move to arm's reach from the ambassador.
So yeah, this is a pretty festive element. And you see that most of the people from Hyquntra just appear pleasantly surprised, and they just revel in the experience of the carnival, whereas all the New Republic people are like, "What are we doing here?" And then eventually a couple of them have a couple more drinks, and they get some Dutch courage on them, and start also integrating themselves to the dynamics. What are you doing? Are you guys also drinking it up and partying a little bit, or just keeping your wits about it?
Zena looks like she's imbibing, but she's not, doing a bit of a sleight of hand, making her way through and chatting up everyone on the Hyquntra entourage, working her way up to someone who might have a security pass of a high level on them.
How would you know? How does that person look like? Everybody's in costume.
She assumes that they'd be hanging around the Queen Regent, and the Queen Regent is very strikingly dressed.
Make a perception roll. 4 purple, 2 blacks.
2 failures, but nothing else. So, yay.
No, with between the light and the costumes and the movement and everything, you really cannot pinpoint who's who. You know where the Queen Regent is moving thereabouts. She appears delighted with the celebrations, and she is in close proximity of the ambassador. Yeah.
Start making my way over that direction and kind of hang out in the periphery, but not too obvious. Just chatting up anyone who stops and talk.
Okay. So you've been here for about an hour, and this is a party of a different level to the ones in the New Republic. the alcohol is flowing at some point. Something that is not alcohol, but it's also fulfills a stimulant purpose comes about too. You see that the Queen Regent and the ambassador partake quite discreetly, and then they kind of giggle with each other, and they seem to relax a bit more. And I am going to flip one die.
So it starts.
Okay. What happens as you are in the middle of party mode is, as part of the carnival celebration, there is some misters that are generating this cloudy atmosphere. And you see that out of the blue, a couple of them just start creating more and more condensation. So instead of being a light mist, it's actually a proper cloud. And one of the local security members goes and checks it, and you see how it detonates. And it propels a cloud, and another one in close proximity also detonates and generates the same cloud. And you see how from a high point, two blaster shots, a high caliber, just come down. And immediately after the shots, you hear the bang of smaller explosions. So I would like all of you make a resilience check
Against?
against 3 purple.
2 successes, 1 throw.
Oh, 3 failures, 1 through.
So Ransai and Basia, you were too close in proximity to the cloud, and you are numbed, as if somebody would have sprayed you all over with something like lidocaine or something like that. That you're like anesthetized, but you're still you, but everything is just a bit more sluggish, and your muscles don't react as fast. Sundal and Amaya, you are overlooking through the misty clouds, and as it dissipates, and all what you're seeing where the entourages were is bodies. And amongst the bodies, you see the bodies of the 2 highest ranking members, sporting blaster wounds straight in the middle of the chest.
Oh,
Uh-oh. I think it's just instinct. She's going to rush in and hold her breath, rush in, grab the ambassador, and see if I can drag the body.
She seems to be in a very unnatural pose.
Yeah, I need to get her under cover, and I'm actually going to scream at Mary. Mary,
Yeah, I'll join.
Queen
I'll join in
Regent.
that. No, I'll get on the other screen to cover. Yeah. No, I feel like let's stay with the ambassador. I feel like I'm protecting the ambassador as well. I think we need 2 on that.
Yeah, you see that the moment that you two react, some other people react too. Some people start pulling the queen out. Some others just start shouting in panic, and all hell breaks loose in the room. People trampling each other, pushing. The security corps just pull out blasters and start looking everywhere to see. They start fanning out like a security cut, and to make sure that nobody goes close to the queen. And then out of somewhere they get like a small repulsor blade over and put the body in it, and they just cut it away.
So the ambassador is dead straight up, is it, or?
Yeah, well, at least at this stage it is looking like she's not breathing.
Well, the doctor, help her. If I can survive multiple shots to the chest, surely she can survive one.
We have the technology. I think I would probably stay with her with the body and go to wherever we're going. And who else would be going along with that? Like other security staff or?
Yeah. Well, the head of security is coming with you, which is this Wookiee, and he looks absolutely pissed off.
Yep.
I'm gonna key my comm link and just let Vazia and Runso know that we're with the ambassador. We'll catch up with them later before they freak out.
So I know that Vazia is a little bit numbed, but she would try to use that to a little bit of an advantage. And if anyone else close to her, she could stumble into them and try and pickpocket a security pass.
Which of the people that you have not identified who are the
Oh,
security
I
people?
don't think it matters at this point. It's like anyone who was like within the same cloud, like cop the feel and see if we can get a security pass.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me roll a percentage.
It's gonna be coordination.
No, it's well, you were unable to identify who was in a previous role. So basically you're just going to try to pickpocket somebody.
Yeah.
Regardless if this person has what you are looking for or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So make a roll. 3 purples, 2 black, but you also have 1 blue because of the confusion.
So that would be coordination.
That would be skullduggery.
Skullduggery.
Oh,
4
Okay.
failures, but advantages.
Right. So you try to impose on somebody and fumble through the pockets, and this person is like, no, 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 let me go, and pushes you away. When it pushes you, you see a figure that is rappelling through the outside of the building, and it seems to have a long-range blaster tied to his back.
Okay, she'll just like start waving there.
Yeah, the figure waves back at you. Like, hey.
Kind of like trying to attract the attention of security and like point them out.
It's an
but, you know.
absolute chaos. It's like, my legs, my legs.
Oh well. Had to try.
Yeah, definitely you had to. Ronsai, what are you doing?
even though I've been a bit numbed,
Yep.
can I take a perception and see if I can see anyone acting? Like, I want to try and see if I can see the assailants or anyone
Sure.
acting suspicious.
Roll perception. It's 4 purples, 2 blacks.
Yep.
That's a difficulty because everything is an absolute chaos.
Yeah, chaos. 2 successes, 1 advantage.
1 triumph, 1 advantage. Okay, good roll. Yeah, well, you see that Vasia seems to be gesticulating and pointing at something outside. And when you follow where she's pointing at, you see that there is actually a figure rappelling down the exterior of the building.
Mm-hmm. Can I go over to the window and get a better look?
Sort of. The
There's a
figure
lot of-
is all dressed in black, and it has a mask.
It's not going to be very helpful. Was there any guards that are injured that might have a available blaster?
Not that you can see. The guards that were not. As you're looking at this, you realize that this was a very precise hit. The
Very-
collateral damage was minimal.
Yeah. But
Even
very
the people
well
that got injured in the area of effect, they're not deadly wounded. They're just incapacitated, severely incapacitated, but incapacitated, not dead.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like they've got their mark then, like someone succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems that somebody's going to have a steak dinner tonight.
Can I calm Amaya and tell her that I saw someone abseiling down there? Like, I want to let someone know that I've seen
Sure.
someone on the outside.
Amaya and Sondal, you guys are escorting the ambassador, and then Amaya, your comlink starts beeping.
Go ahead.
Oh yes. I've seen someone abseiling down the building. Are you with anybody who can investigate?
Is the Wookiee here? Chief of Security?
Yes.
I'm going to tap him on the shoulder and go, Rensei's just seen someone abseiling down the side of the building. He may have something to do with this. In other words, go get him.
Yeah.
Rensei, follow him.
All right.
And hopefully the Wookiee's coming with you.
Well, but he's going down the outside of the building. How am I going to get outside the building? The building that we're in,
You are in one of the towers
the tower. Yeah.
the city. In the
Right.
city.
And then can I see a hole or, like an opening that you can get outside in?
No, you would have to find a hatch, an access hatch,
Damn it.
or
All right. Can I have a look around for an access hatch that might take me outside?
perception. Difficulty 3, 1 black.
Yay. Check succeeded. 3 successes, 2 threats.
Okay. You see that there is no access hatch in this level. However, you can see an access hatch a bit ajar, a couple of levels above you.
Uh-huh. Can I go up there? I'm going up there.
And you start moving in that direction.
Yeah.
But as you do this, a couple of the guards of the local guard that are a bit stunned, they see you running towards an exit that was meant to be sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to try to intercept you. One of them says, "Hold!"
I'm going to relay. I saw someone go out there and go down the building.
They raised the blasters and they came at you. Get on your knees. In the meantime, Sundal and Amaya, what are you two doing?
Well, I think first, my main priority at this stage is I want to do a medicine check to get a real sense of like if it's just gone, there's no chance, or if there's anything that can be done, because I think that's going to decide which way I go. Or
so she's not breathing, and you cannot feel a pulse. And because location where the injury is, which is in the middle of the chest, you cannot go and start compressions because most likely you will.
Yeah. All right, and in the absence of like dramatic cybernetic equipment, which I don't have on me, it sounds like she's gone really. So I think Amaya, we've lost her. We need to go and we should, go and focus on the catching the perpetrator of this rather than stay with her.
Yeah. Amaya can't help anyway. She's not medically trained. She knows nothing. So
Yeah, no.
Amaya, as this is happening, you're starting to feel this rage over amplified. Why did she have to die? Why are we so useless? Why didn't we anticipate that this was going to be a trap? All what she meant was well. All what she wanted to do was to leave a positive legacy, and now she's going to come back to her home, family, and kids in a body bag. Why? This has to be your fault. Surely, you should have done more. You could have done more.
Amaya just kind of stops and takes a breath, listening to the little voice inside her head. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's find this person. Let's go.
So I think maybe we make our way to where Runzai is, and with my security credentials, say that she's with the ambassador's security detail, and we've spotted somebody outside the building escaping. Try and relieve her from her arrest so that she can join us in.
I was going to ask if Vazia had seen them halt Runzai and start making my way over there.
Yeah, well, so all of these things are happening in close proximity. So the Wookiee comes in, and then Vazia, you finish shaking off all the effects of the anesthetic. And you see how one of the guards from the ambassador's entourage and Amaya come in shortly after the Wookiee. And they go in the direction of the couple of guards of the city that are holding Runzai. And then what do you guys say?
She's with us. She saw
Yeah,
that.
she's with us. She
She saw the
we're
shooter.
trying to pursue the shooter. This is not helpful to be all tripping over each other.
She's the only one that's seen the shooter. Let her go. Let us help.
They went out there.
Make a coercion roll. I mean, you guys are not saying anything that is not true or accurate, but you're trying to reason with somebody that is under a lot of stress that just saw the leader of their nation being gunned down in a most miserable way.
How coercive is Amaya? I've got 1 green, so not very coercive.
3.
Go for it.
What am I?
Take a
doing
blue
this-
for me assisting you, but
Have
Wow.
you seen my dice rolls? Just throwing it out there.
Amaya, as you are about to start talking to them, you hear this voice in the back of your mind said, they're nothing but lackeys, they're inferior. They should be bowing to you. You wield the strength of the force. They should be thanking you that you chose to address them.
So, Zondel would probably see Amaya just kind of rock back on her heels, and there's like this look of consternation on her face. She's like, "What the?" She's
But you
Yeah.
know that you are better than them. You are a force user.
kinda. But yes, I am. And yes, I am going to blow past them, and I fully expect them to obey.
Okay.
And I say, let her go.
Right. So I am going to give you a boost die.
Plus Jared's boost die. I'm emotional. It's been that sort of day, and someone's fucking with
So-
my mind.
So you can have a boost dice.
Oh,
So 1 or 2 now.
Oh, you just increase one roll instead of one of your greens.
Oh,
Take one of your greens and add 1 yellow and 3 purples.
to proficiency. Okay, let's see what happens.
It's not a permanent thing. It's just for this one.
3 successes and 2 threats, but
Okay.
I passed.
So Runside, you feel it. You feel that wave of dominance coming from Amaya. And she doesn't even talk. She doesn't look at them. She just growls. Move. Let her go. And you see both of them just drop the blasters down. And there is this look of horror and fear in their faces. You can see it too, Sundown.
wow.
I don't care.
Wow.
I'm running. I don't even see the look on their faces. I'm out.
All right. I'm gonna follow her. See if we can catch the assailant.
Yep.
Yeah, likewise. Yep.
Yeah, you guys pick up. Vasia, you saw that too. You were a bit further out, but you saw it too. This is not the wide-eye, hopeful smile Amaya. This is another Amaya. Meaner, cruel.
Oh dear, she's going to create an incident.
I think it's a bit late for that. That incident has come and gone.
Wouldn't you be thinking,
yeah.
yo, how can I use this?
So,
Yeah. I have been warned by everyone to stay under the radar. Yeah, I'll race after her as well.
so yes, all of you with the Wookiee just go and make your way to the hatch. It opens into a small terrace that connects to the descending arcade of the building. And you see how it's like a curvature of glass and metal.
Parkour!
Yeah, no, you cannot parkour that.
Aw,
Unless you have natural flying skills. I don't think that will be happening.
no, haven't learned how to do that.
We know this person's upside down from the building. They've gone somewhere, so... Or have they taken that off the building as well?
Well, the center rope that was being used is no longer there.
Ooh, try to kamikaze knot. Okay. We know where they've come from, so we just go to that last known position and go from there.
The last known position was on the side of the building as the
Yeah.
guy was descending.
So unless he's doing something with gravity, he'll land at the bottom of the building in that position.
The building is kind of, yeah. Okay, so you guys go to the bottom of the building.
Yep, and then fan out from there.
You guys take a turbo lift, and well, the Wookiee communicates with the local guard and said, the assailant rappelled down the side of the building. Somebody saw him going all the way down to the base and found out. And how does he look like, Ransai?
He was wearing black and had a mask on.
He is wearing all black and has a mask
I would actually
on.
say they. All black mask. Medium height.
With a gun on his back.
What? Did I see that?
Yeah, so no, she didn't say that there was a gun in his back. It's all in black with a mask.
Very suspicious though.
The guards look at them, at each other, and like, okay, well, everybody that you see wearing all black, just pull him aside, and yeah.
Any speed is seen leaving the area.
So at this point, you see how the camera starts panning out as all of you start spreading out, looking for people. And as Amaya is saying, any speeders seen leaving the area, the camera shifts to a speeder that is a fair distance away. And you see Gadriel Kane is riding, has a rifle stash on the back. And
Gadriel.
he pushes something in his helmet. He said, are all the pieces in play? And a female voice responds, yes, they are. Have you secured the pieces? Said, yes, they're both with me. I said, good. I'm going to activate the regeneration fluid, and then we can proceed to extraction. And Dr. Preeti has the two bodies in one of the laboratories that were adjacent to this, not far off. And the camera shows how where the wounds are, and with the residue start converging back and recreating tissue until there is no wound. And then Dr. Preeti pulls out a couple of horse-sized syringes and just puts it in the chest of each one of them. And they woke up with a jolt and a gasp. And you see that from the shadows, another figure comes out, a woman, rather short and dark hair and a bit of a bob cut, and said, both of you have hit on your heads. And for very selfish reasons, we are going to provide you safe passage outside of the system. We'll keep you hidden until it's convenient. But in order for this to happen, and she looks at the queen, I need access to the vault. I need the key. And she narrows her eyes and said, how would you know about it? Cuts her off and said, it's not relevant. I need the key. Everything that has occurred, it relates to what's in the vault. Now quickly, we have a transport to catch. And the queen pulls out something from her crown and gives it to Dr. Afra, who looks very pleased when she takes it. And then Dr. Preeti guides her into a concealed elevator that takes them into a platform where they took an air train to one of them further out air platforms. There is a ship waiting, and Gadriel is there and said, I'll take you to a safe place, and then I can explain better. But for the time being, the best thing that can happen to you is that everybody thinks that you're dead and this system is about to go up in flames. And that's where we're going to finish this arc.
Okay.
Right.
Wasn't expecting that, puppy.
Whenever have I done anything that you've been expecting?
Never. It never happens. The day it happens, I'll eat my hat. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, that's a lot to
Okay.
digest and think about.
Yeah.
So good night to everybody that is still hanging on with us. Apologies if the cliffhanger gets a bit too much, but it was sort of planned a bit. But let's say that there was a narrow window of opportunity for things to take a different course of action. It just got missed several times.
Oh, bother. Good night, people.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
And thank you for everything. And please join us for the next story arc. Don't forget to subscribe and see you around. Thank you for joining us on this epic voyage through the Star Wars galaxy. We hope you enjoy exploring the Force, iconic characters, and untold stories from the far reaches of the universe. Remember, the Force will be with you always. Please support us and subscribe to the show on Twitch and YouTube. We're also on Instagram. Rate and review and spread the word so we can grow and keep these shows coming.